He who accompany the bear to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of Ra, ever advancing onwards the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine, which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is me, and I am him. Mine is the radiance, wherein Ta floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high, I tread upon the firmament of Nu. I raise a flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on the
My third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open, I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm guaranteed to check like TSA. One in a million like a
Welcome. Grand day, everybody. All right. Here I am. I'm back. I don't know what's going on with the technology. Man, Mercury retrograde, I tell you. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now that we're here, now that we're present, we're not glitching. Welcome in, everybody, and thank you for joining me tonight in this SaCrEd Community Nightcap Lounge. And I'm Marcus Christolight, and as we explore in our series, continuing our Emerald Tablet study, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean, we are picking up and finishing off Emerald Tablet number 2. Emerald Tablet number 2, for everybody out there, is called the Halls of Amenti, and this deals with creation and the different dimensions and a little bit more about creation when it comes to this incarnation and life in this universe. So that being said, this is part 5 of Tablet 2. It will be closing out Tablet 2 tonight. So before we close out Tablet 2, I'll go ahead and bring us into our last episode where we explored in part 4 of Tablet 2.
Third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can get lost in the moment. Yeah. I live on the side with the choke.
Basically, Thoth is explaining that no matter what way you choose, or no matter how far you feel like you may have gone on your path, or how far you are behind or traveling or have to go, you are in the infinite. You are in the eternal life of experience after experience. The way around that, having to constantly climb the mountain, having to constantly overachieve and constantly be on overdrive in this world, the key is to know thyself. What do I mean by know thyself? The key is to know that you already are what it is that you wish to achieve. And the more that you just continue to support yourself, keep yourself healed, so that was where we picked up, or where we left off, and where we're picking up when it comes to Emerald Tablet number 2. And that was part 4, which took place 2 weeks ago. So now we're going to continue part 5 of Tablet 2, and we will be finishing it off tonight in this episode. Thank you guys for joining me in this journey and exploring the Emerald Tablets, as the Emerald Tablets are very ancient teachings, language, messages that have helped humanity be guided to deeper level and reminders within our own consciousness of our very existence and what it means to be human, and also the multidimensionality of what it is that we exist in this creation. So there's much more that comes with it as well. And it's very much a inward journey of understanding. So with that being said, I will waste no more time, and we will go ahead and dive into crystallinks.com, where we do our study together. And you guys can go to this website, crystallinks.com, and you can run through the Emerald Tablets with me if you would like, or you can go here anytime to explore and read on your own. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up on where we left off. And where we had left off was steadily upward throughout the ages, growing and expanding into yet another flame, lighting the darkness with yet greater power, quenched yet unquenched by the veil of the night. Okay. Yeah, so I was just kind of reading over again because it's been 2 weeks. But it looks like we were here with, it says, others there were that shed a dim radiance, flowing but faintly from out of the night. Some there were that faded swiftly, others that grew from a smaller spark of light, each surrounded by its dim veil of darkness, yet flaming with light that could never be quenched, coming and going like fireflies in springtime, filled they with space, with light, and with life. Then spoke a voice, mighty and solemn, saying, "These are lights that are souls among men, growing and fading, existing forever, changing yet living, through death into life. When they have bloomed into darkness, reach the zenith of growth in their life. Swiftly then send I veil of darkness, shrouding and changing to new forms of light." Steadily upward throughout the ages, growing, expanding into yet another flame, lighting the darkness with yet greater power, quenched yet unquenched by the veil of the night. So grows the soul of man ever upward, quenched yet unquenched by the darkness of night. I, death, come, and yet I remain not, for life eternal exists in the all. only an obstacle I in the pathway, quick to be conquered by the infinite light. Awakened, O flame that burns ever inward, flame forth and conquer the veil of the night. Then in the midst of the flames, in the darkness, grew there one that drove forth the night, flaming, expanding, ever brighter, until at last was nothing but light. Then spoke my guide, the voice of the Master, see your own soul as it grows in the light, free now forever from the Lord of the Night. Forward he led me through many great spaces, filled with the mystery of the children of light, mysteries that man may never yet know of until he, too, is a son of the light. Backward then he led me into the light of the hall of the light. Knelt I then before the masters, lords of all, from the cycles above. Spoke he then with words of great power, saying, Thou hast been made free of the halls of Amenti. Thou, choose thou, thy work amongst children of men. Then spoke I, O great Master, let me be a teacher of men, leading them onward, upward, until they, too, are lights among men, free from the veil of the night that surrounds them, flaming with light that shall shine among men. Spoke to me then the voice, Go at yet will, so be it decreed. Master are ye of your destiny, free to ye the power, take ye the wisdom, shine as a light among the children of men. Upward then led me the dweller, dwelt I again among children of men, teaching and showing some of my wisdom, son of the light, a fire among men. Now again I tread the path downward, seeking the light into the darkness of night. Hold ye and keep ye, preserve my record, guide shall it be to the children of men. And that is the finishing of Emerald Tablet number 2. So now, as I always do, I'll go back and now we'll break down these different sections that we went over. Okay, so here we are. This is where we start the breakdown for the finish of Emerald Tablet number 2. And blessings and much love to Casey, Lunar Queen, Rhonda, if you're still here. Much love to all of you. So we have here others that shed a dim radiance, glowing but faintly from out of the night. Some there were that faded swiftly, others that grew from a small spark of light, each surrounded by its dim veil of darkness, yet flaming with light that could never be quenched. Coming and going like fireflies in springtime, filled they with space, with light and with life. So this is Thoth speaking through his perspective of his incarnation on the earth. And what he's speaking on here is basically like his final days of his incarnation on the earth before moving into his ascendedhood. So this is the last life that he's
walking on the earth, and he found his true awakening or his true self through this incarnation that he's describing here. And then what he's describing is his experience of his spiritual interactions with the guides and the beings of the light and dark. And it's also, a interaction of the one consciousness. So the consciousness within him, and it's also the same consciousness within us. But we go through it in our own unique way, just as Thoth did it his unique way. So he's talking about being in this incarnation. He saw many souls with, dimmed light, as well as big light, and veils of darkness around their energy fields, their auras. And he just was talking about how he just saw different incarnations and different souls come and go, like fireflies in springtime. Some lights would dim out, some people would radiate, and there'd be so many different souls and so many lives. It's like fireflies, just so many different polarities taking place. So he said, "Then spoke a voice, mighty and solemn, saying, these are lights that are souls among men, growing and fading, existing forever, changing yet living, through death into life. When they have bloomed into flower, reached the zenith of growth in their life. Swiftly then, send I my veil of darkness, shrouding and changing to new forms of life." So this right here is, the Most High, Source, Creator, channeling through Thoth, speaking with him, communicating. Thoth's higher self, if you want to say that. Our higher self. And it's describing to Thoth as Thoth is in the human perspective or the human incarnation. And it's speaking to him and explaining through intuition that what he's seeing is he's seeing the energy bodies of the souls among men. He's seeing the fourth dimension. He's seeing beyond the physical veil. And he's able to see people's auras as well as energy bodies, energy forms. And it says, growing and fading, existing forever, changing yet living. So it's talking about our consciousness, our energy bodies. They exist with our human being. They exist with our form, but they also exist beyond and before our form. But it's also changing with the form while it's experiencing as and with the form. And then it also continues through death and in through life, because it's a continuous eternal sphere of energy. Then it says, when they have bloomed into flower, reach the zenith of growth in their life, swiftly then send I my veil of darkness, shrouding and changing to new forms of life. So it says then, with that, what I'm getting here is when we have basically ascended or became enlightened upon a certain experience or a certain journey, then we reach the zenith of that enlightenment when it comes to that awareness. And then with that, we then basically break through to a new cycle or into a new beginning, or we then go into a next level of growth. And with that next level comes a new form of darkness to move through. That's why it says, I send my veil of darkness swiftly, shrouding and changing to new forms of life. Because the darkness is what allows us to experience the next thing in this life. Without the darkness, there is no container for the light and for the illusions to be experienced. So it's like, as soon as we reach enlightenment, we then go through more darkness, because that is the point of this realm and this dimension. And with that, it helps continue to shape, change, and mold new forms of life. And then it says, steadily upward through the ages, growing, expanding into yet another flame, lighting the darkness with yet greater power, quenched yet unquenched by the veil of the night. It's saying again that, life is eternal, and there will always be opportunities to incarnate and experience polarity, the light and the dark, and that's a part of existence. And there will always be an age or ages to be able to experience in existence. Now, as souls, we have choices in the different divine ways that things operate. If we want to continue to incarnate into the cycles of life and death, light and darkness, or we can stay in the ascended realms that Thoth talks about, where you're out of the polarities, you're out of the halls of a mentee, and you're just staying in the places of non-duality, non-polarity. But as Thoth has talked about, as we go through the halls, the dimensions, vibrationally and karmically, we got to be light enough to continue to ascend into higher dimensions, or we'll have to continue to go through the vibrational densities that we're continuing to carry. And that's where the veil of darkness comes from. Veil of darkness gives us the opportunities to clear that karma, to go through experiences. And then as we go through those darkness experiences and karmic experiences, and then steadily upward throughout the ages, growing, expanding into yet another flame, lighting the darkness with yet greater power, quenched yet unquenched by the veil of the night. So just think about us in this life and who we are. It's like, we have a passion, we have a goal, we conquer that goal, we create that thing, and then, we love it, we're grateful for it, but we're not quenched, Our spirit still wants to do more while it's here. It wants to experience, and it wants to create. So grows the soul of man, ever upward, quenched yet unquenched by the darkness of night. So the darkness of night is what is feeding us the opportunities of experience, the illusions, the distortions, while we're in existence. I, death, come, and yet I remain not. For life eternal exists in the all. Only an obstacle, I in the pathway, quick to be conquered by the infinite light. Very simple. This is just death, or death being explained on what it is in a very neutral form. And that is, death is just a concept of our own minds that we had created as humans, and some other beings as well, that we just identify and attach to as a way to go through different ways of experience temporarily. And there's also a lot of other things that have came with death as well, such as manipulation, splitting of our consciousness, a lot of different things. When really death is just nothing more than the transfer process into another form. That's all it is. It's the alchemy. It's the alchemy of one form into another. It goes through a death process into a rebirth. Every death is a rebirth, and every rebirth is a death. So really, in the essence, there is no death and rebirth. It's just continuous moments of energy being experienced and exchanged and transferred. So that's why it says, and yeah, remain not, for life eternal exists in the all. It's only an obstacle, an eye in the pathway, quick to be conquered by the infinite light. So yeah, death just becomes nothing more than an obstacle of your own mind when you continue to believe and attach to death, when really we're eternal and connected to eternal source spirit. And once you realize that inside your mind, and you just stop playing games with yourself and just be like, look, I am connected to the infinite light. I am the infinite light. Like, I am source. I don't even have an identity. I'm not even this body. I will continue to live life beyond this incarnation and have. And I am all that is, existing as itself. When you get that programmed, then in your subconscious, and then you're embodying that, that's when you step out of the halls of Amenti. So you also remove that obstacle, so to say, in an instant. Mindset. As soon as you switch your mindset to, oh yeah, I'm connected to the infinite source, and you really get that belief, you don't even see death as anything to focus on. So that says, awaken, O flame, that burns ever inward. Flame forth and conquer the veil of the night. This is just saying, awaken my inner kundalini, my inner fire, my inner passion, my inner connection to divine light, my inner consciousness. And may that burn continuously. May my chakras be clear and focused. May they be clear and rotating for the conscious energy. Then through that, you conquer the darkness. You release the veil of separation between you and the outer, and the light and the dark. Then in the midst of the flames and the darkness grew there one that drove forth the night, flaming, expanding, ever brighter, until at last was nothing but light. And it says, then spoke my guide, the voice of the master. See your own soul as it grows in the light, free now forever from the Lord of the night. Forward he led me through many great spaces, filled with the mysteries of the children of light. Mysteries that man may never yet know until he too is a son of the light. So with this, it's just saying basically his higher self, or one of his guides that he's describing, consciously led him telepathically. And it guided him through different dimensions, different realms of information within his mind when it comes to the mysteries of the children of light, which is basically just the knowledge about galactic ancestors, about other higher dimensional beings, and star family. And with that, you also uncover more of the mysteries about life that the average man may not acquire in their lifetime. So backward then he led me into the light of the hall of the light. Knelt I then before the great masters, lords of all, the cycles above. Spoke he then with words of great power, saying, Thou hast been made free of the halls of Amenti. Choose thou thy work among the children of men. So Thoth is basically just describing his ascension process and what he experienced once he had reached that stage of enlightenment and was able to then transcend the incarnation realms and the halls and the duality dimensions to now sit with the ascended masters and sit in the heavenly planes where you're in non-duality and you're just in full service of the law of one. So this is basically like, this is Thoth's story of his walk, his journey to ascension, just as you learn about Yeshua and Buddha and all these different figures. So it says, O great master, let me be a teacher of men, leading then onward and upward until they too are lights among men, freed from the veil of the night that surrounds men, flaming with light that shall shine among men. Very simple. This is him speaking with Creator Source about what it is on a soul level he would like to negotiate the contracts of for his position and role in the law of one. So then he said, Spoke to me then the voice, Go as yet will, so be it decreed. Master are ye of your destiny, free to take or reject at will. Take ye the power, take ye the wisdom, shine as a light among the children of men. So then, yeah, it's just a source reflecting back to its own self, which is reflecting back to Thoth. That it's just a reminder of, yeah, you are the master of your own soul and destiny, and you use your free will of this creation and the way that this creation operates to carve the path that you wish to experience as a being of existence, a children of existence. And not just that, but of the great source of all, truly as its own self. So then it says, you know, it is your own destiny to choose that. You choose that for yourself, and then you take the steps to carve that destiny, and you do the steps and the actions to play that position as a wisdom keeper for the children of men. And then it says, Upward then led me the dweller, dwell I again among children of men, teaching and showing some of my wisdom, son of the light, a fire among men. Now again I tread the path downward, seeking the light in the darkness of night. Hold ye and keep ye, preserve my record, guide shall it be to the children of men. So to close out here, it's just saying basically that he ascended, went through this experience, and now that he has taken this new position as an ascended, a master teacher for the children of men in the lower realms, he talks about then being among the children of men again after getting his new missions, his new purpose on the soul level. And he talks about now being a keeper of the wisdom officially, and now being the son of the light and a fire among men. So we literally just learned about the process that Thoth went through in order to get to his ascendedhood as a soul. And then now we're at where he is now ascended, his human incarnations no longer has to come back and is now an ascended master for this planet. Wow. What a way to close out Emerald Tablet number 2. How beautiful Wow. Powerful stuff. Oh, that's funny. Facebook won't let you comment. Mercury retrograde. Yep. I'm just glad we were able to get live and get an episode in tonight, since we didn't last week. Close out Emerald Tablet 2 nice and fashionably. But wow, what a way to close out Emerald Tablet 2. Learning about the halls of Amenti, the different dimensions that we go through here in this earth. And then also just learning at the end of seeing and hearing and sensing Thoth's journey of ascension to where he no longer has to be in a human incarnation and has mastered his human lives here on the earth. I can't wait to pick up on Tablet 3 as we continue on in this journey. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And it's called Keys of Wisdom. So I'm sure we'll be tapping into the newfound teachings of children of men as a ascended being and no longer having to incarnate fully among men. So that'll be our next episode. We'll dive into Tablet 3 next Thursday night. And keep in mind, for everybody out there, if you haven't heard yet, next week on Monday, the 31st, is going to be the beginning of our expansion of SaCrEd Light Productions, as we will be expanding into the SaCrEd Light broadcast network. And we will be continuing to have our usual lives, as well as other shows playing as well through the YouTube channel, my Facebook, Christolight Robbins, as well as on Instagram, SaCrEd Light 33. And as we continue to expand, there will not only be my podcasts and shows, as well as some of the other content that I provide, but we will also have other community members broadcasting and streaming as well through this SaCrEd Light broadcast network. And this is going to be a worldwide community of a beautiful network of holistic, conscious individuals sharing ways of empowerment, tapping into our inner light, and healing ourselves through ways of fun, play, creative, holistic, and diverse ways like recipes, yoga, meditation, lectures, teachings, podcasts, and more. So subscribe if you're not yet. SaCrEd Light Healing and Wellness on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook, Christolight Robbins, and on Instagram, SaCrEd Light 33. And then you guys can also follow the community that I host worldwide as well, the Sacred Kingdom, on YouTube. And you just type in the Sacred Kingdom. And you will be able to find this content streaming. And it's going to be a really fun journey starting next week. I can't wait to see how long we really get this generational wealth flowing so that we can continue to bridge communities, shine our light, share our gifts, and continue to heal and grow together. So with that being said, this will do it for our episode tonight. Glad we got on here. Wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but we're here. And just want to close out this space and just give a little bit of honor and gratitude for this moment, for the mother and father, and for everything that we've been blessed with up until this moment, and we'll continue to be blessed with. And as we close out, I give thanks to Thoth, the Emerald Tablets, as well as this opportunity to be here. I want to wish everybody a beautiful and blessed night. And you guys really enjoy yourself, rest well, If you're watching this during the daytime, have a beautiful day. And reach out if you have questions, or if you would like any of my one-on-one services, or would like to join my retreats, events, workshops, and anything else. With that being said, everybody, wholeness and balanced love. Come take a journey, April 5th and 6th, for a holistic, nature-based 2-day retreat event taking place in Hocking Hills, Ohio. This beautiful 2-day event, hosted by myself, Marcus Christolight of SaCrEd LiGhT, along with fellow Sacred Kingdom community members, we will be offering and delivering to you sacred and holistic space where we will be diving into holistic sound healing and shadow work flow shops. Along with that, we will also be doing beautiful traditional cacao ceremonies and also exploring and hiking Hocking Hills. And to complement all these beautiful activities, we will be able to snack on delicious foods, and you guys will also be having your breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided for. Vegetarian and vegan options. And along with this, we'll be doing overnight camping, and there will be hooping flow shops, as well as other interactions with the elements in nature. This is a wonderful space for you to be able to holistically heal, become empowered with education, and take tools into your everyday life for conscious empowerment. Reach out, ask questions if you have any. I'd love to see you there. Begin your process by scanning the QR code and to register. Wholeness and balanced love.